In this video, I'm going to show you guys a couple new items that just came across my desk. The first one being the Voortex paint shaker, and the other is the Atlas paint handle. Both Gaahleri items, and I think you're going to be pretty excited about these. I know I was when I heard about the release of these two items. The paint shaker I have now is okay and it works fine, but it is a little unwieldy when you get it up to high speed. It does bounce around, so I've had to modify things to get it to sit properly on the desk. Anyway, let's go take a look at these items and see what we get. The decal provided gives you a smooth surface for the suction cups of the shaker to stick to. You also get a quick start guide with all the information you need to know about the functions of the shaker, a power adapter, and of course the paint shaker. So it says the unit delivers up to 3,500 RPM across 3 adjustable speed presets for mixing standard and heavy metallic paints. It's built with a high efficiency, low noise brushless motor. The system includes thermal protection to ensure safe operation during extended use. The hands-free holder is designed to accommodate a wide range of paint bottle sizes from 10 milliliter to 60 milliliter. And the dynamic flowing light effects combined with an adjustable 3-minute timer to provide mixing intensity, real-time status, and precise mixing control. It's got some weight to it, I think, so that when it's shaking, the unit doesn't move around too much. And as you can see, it can accommodate various sized bottles. The top piece here is rubber, so it'll grip the bottle really well. You can see it's soft. And you can see the bottom as well is rubber. It does have some movement to it, so when it's shaking the bottle will stay in place and get gripped by this rubber base. The adapter plugs into the back, and you have your on-off switch and control knob, and then the LED lights here on the front that indicate your speeds. So if you push and hold the unit, you can see it turns on. And then by pressing it once, you get the first speed indicated, and the second one, and your third. So green is your slowest speed, blue is the secondary speed, and your red is the high speed. And by turning the knob, you can see the unit moving. And turning it all the way, you can see you get a variance in speed. Then you can turn to the second speed, and it varies as well. And then your highest speed, which will mix your heavier metallic paints. And I think that's a pretty cool feature. So we'll get some paint, we'll test out different bottles, and we'll see how this thing shakes paint up. Just to give you an idea of the sizes of bottles that the mixer will hold, we'll look at a few here that will and won't fit into the mixer. Most of us are going to be using these type of paints, so you're not going to need it to fit bottles much bigger than this. The base of this is quite hefty, so this top piece won't lift when you're shaking your paint. And as you can see, that Vallejo bottle is designed for Vallejo bottles, and that fits perfectly right in there, and then it just clamps down on top. You can see there that it's held snugly in place. And then your classic Tamiya bottle, perfect size for that as well. And then your Citadel or Games Workshop paint, it does fit inside that secondary round area there, and that again fits perfectly into the mixer as well. And your Humbrol enamels, they actually fit on the bottom, but the top, as you can see, doesn't come down far enough to hold those. So the only thing I can say about that is you could possibly take maybe a piece of blue tack and you stick that on top, and then you can see it's wedged in there. I mean, it might work. I'd have to test it once it starts shaking. And then your taller GW bottles, they fit fine. Your Mr. Surfacer bottles, they fit in there nicely as well. MIG wash bottles, they sit in there nice. And then if you still have Model Master around, it'll also hold your Model Master paints. And the smaller Stynylrez bottles, they'll fit. The Alclad bottles will fit, but that's really your max ceiling for height. You can see you could go just a little bigger on that, not much. Woodland Scenic bottles, they're too big to go in, or these large Kaleido bottles. You won't be able to fit bottles that big. You're going to be using your mixer to mix these paints 99% of the time. So that's how the mechanism works for this. Let's shake a few bottles up and see how it runs. Well, let's start with a Vallejo bottle. Most of the paint that we use these days are roughly this size. One thing before we start mixing the paint up, I wanted to mention there's little rubber feet on the bottom of this unit. I don't like these. They never work. They never hold to the surface of much of anything or for very long. I just like to remove those. So I'm going to pull those off, and they come off real easy. And what I'm going to do is just take some of my sticky tack or blue tack. This is white tack, and I'm going to stick 4 pieces just like this to the bottom, and that way when you stick it to your desk surface or whatever it is you're going to be using this on, it's not going to move around on you. Just going to take you over here real quick. This is the one I currently use, and it's pretty good, but as you can see, I do have it on a little piece of plate steel, and this steel is attached with some double-sided tape, and you can see that white tack just hanging out through the bottom there, because this unit, when you get it up to speed, shakes like a mother. And if I don't have that on there, this thing moves all over the place. That's why I'd remove the feet and change it up. Okay, let's go with the Vallejo color. And again, one long press to turn it on, and then you just push, and that gets you back into whatever mode you're looking for. We'll start with the green, and you can see the mixing action there. We'll turn it up all the way, and then we'll switch it to the medium speed, and you can hear the motor is going a little faster. And then your max speed, that'd be for your heavy bodied paints like metallics and what have you, and then you just turn it to 0 and that shuts it off. Same thing, you can see there it's mixing it up, it's not going anywhere, it's staying stationary, and that's at high speed right there. So that will give a really good mix to the paint. You can see and hear how it's mixing up in there. You can see it's all mixed up now. That only took a few seconds. So that's the unit, and that's how it works. The nice thing about it is you don't have to hold it like some of the Voortex ones where you actually, you end up getting vibration in your hand from holding the bottle into the shaker. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Since we're reviewing a paint shaker, I guess we might as well do this Atlas paint handle. So let's take a look and see what we get in the box. You get just a quick little rundown of some of the functions of the handle. And with Gaahleri, they always pack everything very well. Protective foam and an insert of foam which is shaped to the item, so when it gets to you, chances of that getting broken are pretty slim. There's the handle, and you also get a box of these paint test cards. Instead of using your fingernail, like some people will wipe the paint off or test it on your hand, you can use this to do the same idea, and it also is to shape your brush back to a point. It has this ratcheting, and you can hear that ratcheting spinner, and that just pops off, and you can see right here there's a magnet installed into the plastic top here. So if you had your miniatures mounted onto a magnet or a metal plate of some kind on the base, it will magnetize itself to the top here. And I have some magnets right here, and you can see they have mounted themselves to that piece of plastic. But you can also just use standard blue tack or white tack or whatever you have, and that will stick the miniature on there as well. The top also screws off. You can just use it as is like that, and it still works the same. Another nice little feature of this handle is the bottom unscrews like this. There's this piece here. So it does slot itself into the top here. As you can see inside, there's a large hollow space, so if you had certain tools you like to store, like sculpting tools maybe, something like that, they can be fitted in the bottom. It's also made of like a nice high-grade aluminum, and it's got a nice soft grippy part here for when you're holding the miniature so that your hand doesn't get fatigued. Sometimes I use pins on the bottom of the miniature's feet, like a brass pin, and then I can just pop that into the cork, and that holds him in place. If you are painting some detail and you've got a bit of a shaky hand like I tend to get sometimes, you can rest your finger on that just to, you know, take the stress off your hand to get in there and paint small items like eyes or details on a coat or something like that. Or if you're painting patterns in something that you really need to have a steady hand, this is kind of nice to rest your finger on. I really like the feel of this. It's very comfortable to hold, and it's easy to turn without any stress on your hand. It fits the hand nice, feels like quality, and looks like a quality item, as anything Gaahleri has come out with so far for the most part. If you're interested in either of these items, you can check my discount code in the description below. I'll make a little money, you'll get a discount, it's a win-win. The little bit I make goes towards the cost of helping me to make these videos, and is truly appreciated. If you want to see more interesting content, check the video out on your screen right now, and I'll see you there.